everybody, welcome back to my channel. Princess the Artist here. So today I'm going to do something a lot different when it comes to doing my makeup. I'm actually going to do a walkthrough on how I achieve my makeup eyeshadows. It's going to be a cut crease look today. So also, if you are new to my channel, hi. How are you? And also, if you are not new to my channel, welcome back, guys. So also make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Also, just ring that little bell right there for notifications whenever I do upload a video. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm actually going to do is put concealer underneath my eyebrows. I do that first just to pretty much give it a nice clean look underneath before I start my eye primer and also my eyeshadows. So I actually do Born This Way by Too Faced in the color Mocha. So I'm actually going to do this one, and I'm going to kind of mix it up a little bit also with the MAC 24-hour concealer, and this is in the color NC50. So we're going to go ahead and mix them up, and then I'm going to actually apply it right underneath my brows. So I'm actually going to also take, this one is a brush from Morphe. It's a flat, like a little flat brush that I'm going to use. I'm actually going to use the same brush for my eyeshadows on the lid. So let's go ahead and get started. So I kind of bring that all the way down here, and then I pretty much just take the concealer and bring it downward, just like that. Okay, so now that that's nice and blended down, and I really blend it all the way down to kind of like in my crease area here, just like that. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna actually go ahead and do the other side the same exact way, so you can really see the difference on how it looks underneath. Okay. And I start to bring the concealer down. Okay. Just like that. So now that I have both of my concealer on both of my eyes here, so now I'm actually just going to take my eye primer. This is going to be in the color Painterly. This is from MAC. Okay. So I'm actually just going to take a little bit of this for both eyes. It is more of a creamy base, so it's definitely going to help all of your eyeshadows stick so much better. Okay, so going back with this same brush from Morphe, and it's more still the flathead brush that we used for the concealer underneath my eyes, and now I'm going to actually use it for the eye primer that I'm going to put on my lid and also on the crease area of the eye. Okay. This part really doesn't have to be too perfect, but I do put it all over the lid. Okay. And then I'm actually going to take it and smooth it out onto the crease area. Okay, so it's gonna look just like this. Okay, so we're gonna do the same way that we put the eye primer here. We're actually gonna put it on this eye, same exact way. Okay. I'm just gonna smooth that out. So it's actually smoothing out into the concealer here. What I put that's going to be more in the crease is actually going to be the eye primer on top of that. So yeah. And I'm just kind of smoothing out those edges. Okay, so it's actually supposed to look just like this on both eyes. Okay. So now we are actually ready for our eyeshadow. So today I'm gonna use like 2 palettes. I'm gonna use the Juvia's Place palette, the Zulu palette, and I'm actually going to use the James Charles palette as well. So the first color I'm actually going to use in the Juvia's Place palette and the Zulu palette, and it's gonna be this color right. And then I'm actually going to take, this is a brush from MAC. This is the 286S brush. It's a really great brush to blend out all your colors. That's gonna be more into your crease area here, okay? So I'm just gonna kind of put a lot of the color right on the tip of the brush right here. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to do it. So I'm just gonna kind of tap your color in there. And then you're actually just gonna start right here in the socket area here, which is your crease, okay? So I kind of start in the middle here and I start to blend it clockwise, and also you can do it counterclockwise. I do both ways. And I'm not going to put a lot of this color on because I don't want this color to be super dark and super heavy, because I'm going to go in with my oranges on top of this. So I'm actually you're going to blend all the way to your tear duct, which is here, and then you're actually going to keep blending in circular motions all the way to the end of the eye like that, okay? So I'm just going to go in with a little bit more color on the brush. In circular motions all the way around in the crease area. Okay, so I just darkened it up a little bit by putting a little bit more color onto the bristles, and I just blended it in even more, and I just created more of a darker eyeshadow. Same eyeshadow that I had just used. Okay, and it's okay if you want to blend it. I'm gonna kind of do it in slow motion. As you're buffing circular motion, the more you buff, the more this part is gonna become seamless. That makes sense? Okay, so then you're gonna get this look right here. So now we're gonna do the same color that we just did on this eye. We're gonna do it on this eye. Still the same placement, gonna be right here in your crease area, okay? So it's right in here. And I'm still buffing circular motion. Circular motion. Okay, so just to let you know, what you don't want to do when you put your eyeshadows in your crease, you don't want to go back and forth. You don't just want to only do that and then that's it. It's okay to go back and forth within your crease, but make sure you also buff circular motion all in your crease. So pretty much you can buff first into your crease, and then if you want a lot more depth in the crease area only, meaning you actually want to put more pigmentation into the crease and only the crease, that's when I would suggest to do literally back and forth after the eyeshadow is already buffed and blended. Okay, so we're actually going to add a little bit more of that same color in our crease. We're just kind of darkening it up a little bit, but nothing that's going to be too dark. Okay. Okay, so you see how seamless and really pretty those edges look like here? Okay, so that's what you want on both of your eyes when you're blending eyeshadow in your crease. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're actually going to go into the James Charles palette, and I'm actually going to use more than one orange. So it's going to be more of like your brighter oranges, and then it's going to be more of your darker oranges, and also an orange kind of mixed with red a little bit. And I'm actually put all of those colors in my crease. So James Charles palette here. I'm actually going to start with this color, this lighter orange right here. Okay, I'm going to put that color first. I'm going to put it in the same place that I actually put the darker color, the first color that we did in the crease. I'm actually going to put it on top of that using the same exact blending brush. Okay, same placement. I'm just going to buff it right in that crease area. Okay, so I actually buffed this color all to my tear duct and all the way over to the end of the eye here. Okay, so I'm only just going to really buff this color. I'm not going to really go back and forth in my crease with this color because it's really light. Just doing a second layer of the same lighter orange color. And this is in the James Charles palette. Okay. Just like that. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to actually take that same lighter orange color and we're going to actually do it on this eye. Same placement right in the crease, okay? Okay, so now that those two colors are blended into the crease areas here, so now we're actually going to go in with our third color. Okay, so it's going to be this color right here in the James Charles palette. It's a little bit more of a deeper orange that we're going to put still in the crease area there. And I'm still going to use the same brush that I used to blend out the other two colors that we already did, okay? So I'm going to kind of pretty much load up a lot of color on this brush. Okay? And then I'm going to actually put it in the crease area. And I'm buffing it the whole time. Okay, so now I'm going to actually do it on this eye as well. Same way, same placement. Okay, so now that we have both eyeshadows on both eyes, and now we're gonna go in with our fourth color, okay? And just to let you know, you really don't have to do this many colors. You can do as many colors as you want in your crease. I'm actually just using multiples of colors just to create this look. I'm gonna go in with this color here. Same brush, okay? Kind of load up a lot of color on this brush. Same way, we're gonna put this in the crease. Begin buffing. Okay, so just keep buffing, keep buffing. And then also you're gonna do it on the other eye. Okay, so now that we have both eyeshadows on both eyes, they're both even. So just you want to make sure of that as well. Okay. All right, so now we're actually ready to put on eye primer right back on the eye. But now, if you wanted to kind of turn this look around a little bit and you wanted to really darken up this makeup eye, you can by adding like a darker eyeshadow if you wanted to make a smoky eye. So I'm gonna turn it into a smoky eye. I'm just feeling smoky today. Okay, so before I actually now put on the eye primer, I'm gonna just go ahead and put on like a darker color right on the ends right here, just to create like a little bit more definition to the eye, and also it's gonna turn into a smoky, okay? And with this color here, it's more like I've never actually used it before, but it looks like more of a darker brown color, which would be really pretty, but we'll see. Okay, so I put it on the same brush that I used to apply all the eyeshadows in the crease. So instead of putting this all the way over, we're actually just gonna put it right kind of like halfway. Now, you can put it all the way over if you want to. I might not do that, or I might, never know. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start putting this right in my crease. I'm gonna kind of start halfway just to kind of see how I want to do this, but like I said, you can bring it all the way over, or you can do it kind of like halfway, okay? So I'm actually gonna do it kind of like a half moon shape here, so it's just right in the crease to where I'm buffing it, but I'm also buffing it like right here on the lid part of my eye, okay? And I'm just buffing it right there in the socket of my crease. Okay. So I'm just gonna put it just a little bit. I don't want to like darken it up too much. So this is just enough of the makeup eyeshadow look I want as far as it being smoky. So we're gonna do the same thing on this side of the eye. I'm just buffing it really, just kind of like halfway in that crease. And I'm actually buffing it on my lid as well, on the side. Okay. So I've just decided just to go a little bit darker on the smoky. By doing that, you just add more and more of the darker color right on those edges here, kind of like that half moon shape, but still you want to do it in a circular motion. But the key is that you want to do it more when you buff it. You want to buff inward into the eye. You don't want to buff outward. You want to buff inward. Now, if you plan on doing that makeup look to where the eyeshadow is extended out, then you would go ahead and you would buff outward this way. But since we're not doing that, we're just actually just going to buff inward if you want to keep all your colors going this way, going like more towards your eye. If that makes sense? But yeah, so I went ahead and added a little bit more color right on the edges here. So I just kind of buffed it in. And you might want to buff inward. Like I said, you want to buff inward. Just like that. Okay? So your color should actually look like this onto the eye. Okay? So now that we have these colors going on now we're ready to put on the eye primer. So we're going to actually put the eye primer back onto the eye, but we're going to put it right on the lid. I'm actually going to take the eye primer a little bit further than my lid. I'm actually going to take it more into the crease area here because my lid is a little bit smaller. So in order to make my eyelid appear a lot more longer, I'm actually going to take my eye primer and I'm going to extend it into my crease a little bit. Okay? I'm going to go back in my Painterly paint pot from MAC, the same brush that I used from Morphe to apply the eye primer from the beginning. I'm actually going to use that same brush again. And the first thing I do is, you can do it this way first. You can just put it right back onto the lid like so. Just like that first. Okay, so now we know that's just our lid. Okay, so but I'm going to create a cut crease. So the cut crease is actually going to be more defined and more a straighter line. So it's going to look a lot more detailed. Okay, okay, so pretty much how I did this line here is that what I did was I just pretty much went on the edge here, like where my tear duct is, and I actually drew a line going above my lid into my crease. Okay, so that's how I did it. I just take it and I go all the way over, just like that. I'm just gonna kind of go halfway because I don't want to cover up too much of the darker color here. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that you want to make sure that you actually put your paint pot or any kind of eye primer that you put back onto the lid. You want to make sure it's straight as possible when doing a cut crease. Okay, I just pretty much created that line going all the way over, just like that. Make it straight as possible. Even if you have to take your bristles and really push your bristles together for it to be like super thin, and then go back in with your eye primer and you would just cut it just like that. That way your line is a lot more straighter. And then what you'll do is you'll take your eye primer on that line that you created, and then you would bring it downward onto the lid color. Okay, so, and if you need to add more color, you can to the lid. In this part, I'm just kind of like pressing all over the lid. Okay. So that's how you want to create the cut crease as far as the eye primer. So by the time you put on your eyeshadow on top of the eye primer, all you're doing is pressing it on top. The pressing technique actually helps where the color stays in that one place and it does not move whatsoever. And the more that you put the more layers you put on top of it, the actual more the color is going to really come out and it's really going to stand out, especially if your eyeshadow is a little bit lighter. And so the more that you put on, the more the color is actually going to stand out on your lid. Okay. So now we're going to take this same look that we did as far as the eye primer, and we're actually going to put it on this side. Okay, so want to do a really thin amount of the eye primer on your actual brush, a really thin amount. okay? Because remember, it's creamy, so a little bit goes a long way. You're gonna put this all over the lid first. I'm just pressing it on the lid. That's all I'm doing first, okay? See how that's on there? Okay, so now make sure your bristles for the brush, it's super, super thin, because remember, we're gonna use those edges on there just to make that line, to make it look real crisp and real clean, okay? Okay, so I just created that line that I'm doing. And I'm bringing it all the way over, as you can see. And I'm bringing that downward. So pretty much what I did was I created the line. So I'm gonna go a little bit further out. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure that this matches, and it does. So I kind of pretty much bring the eyeshadow primer all the way where my tear duct is, right here, okay, as you can see. Okay, so that's where my guidelines actually starts, okay? So you create that line, you want to make it as straight as you can right there, okay? And then you just want to take it, that line, and you just want to curve it all the way over, just like that, okay? Okay, so now we're just actually pressing the color all over the lid, which is the eye primer, I'm sorry. We're just pressing the actual eye primer all over the lid. This is right after we've used the primer as the cut crease here, okay? So we're actually just pressing it, okay? Now, the reason why I press my eye primer on the eye, just to make sure it's just nice and it's really, really smooth. There's no creases in it or anything, okay? Now, mind you, some eye primers out there, you necessarily don't have to do that, but with this paint pot from MAC, I'm having to kind of do that so it won't crease up or anything on the lid, okay? So now we're actually ready for the eyeshadow that's gonna go right on top of the eye primer, okay? And remember, you're gonna only press that color on your lid. Do not go back and forth, just press it on there. The only time you actually blend onto your lid is when you're actually blending your outer color here with the color that's gonna be on the lid there, okay? And that's what, even if you was to do like 2 colors on your lid or 3 colors on your lid and you still have this outer color here, you know, you would blend with the blending brush with that, but first you're gonna just press your colors in, okay? I'm actually gonna use this color next, this one right here. So same brush that we're gonna use. I like really load up that color on the brush on just one side of it. And I'm actually just going to press this all over the lid. I'm just only pressing the color, okay? Just pressing it. And I'm actually gonna press it everywhere that I put the eye primer itself. So we're just really pressing that in. And I packed on a lot of this color. It's more like a yellowish gold undertone. So I just kind of pressed that all over my lid, and I really packed color on there because I really want my color to really, really pop on my eyelid, okay? So now that that's on, as you can see, okay? Okay, so now we've done this eye. So now we're gonna go ahead and do this eye. Same way we did this one, you're just gonna press your color right onto your lid, okay? Just like that. So remember, you want to press all the way in your tear duct if you took your eye primer that far. Now, if you didn't take your eye primer that far where your tear duct is, then you don't have to blend right there. But I'm going to go ahead and do that since I took my eye primer that far. And I'm going to press, of course, the eyeshadow on top of that. Okay. Okay, so your cut crease should actually look just like mine. Okay. All right, so closure. So just in case you don't want to do your cut crease this far up like I did mine, say if your eyelid is already longer, you don't have to actually extend your eye primer that far up. You can just put it wherever your eyelid is, okay? So now what I'm gonna do next is I'm actually gonna take this darker color here and I'm actually just gonna lightly bring it back into the eye by just only applying just very little of that color. And I'm actually just gonna blend it more inward where the actual first color that we did, this lighter color here, I'm actually going to blend it inward into there, but not too much because I don't want to take too much attention away from the lighter color on my lid, okay? So I'm going to use this same brush that I've been using for my crease colors, and this is also from MAC. This is the 286, and I'm actually going to go back in with, like I said, that same color that I did here. I'm actually just gonna apply a little bit more just to kind of bring it out a little bit. Now, you don't have to do this step if you don't want to. If you like how the placement is already, for as far as your eyeshadow on the actual outer part of the eye, then that's cool too. You know, just make sure that you blend out this color and this color together, okay? The way you do that, you take this brush here, any blending brush that you have at home that you're comfortable with. I just so happen to like the 286 from MAC. So without any product, okay? You can put a little product, but you don't have to, okay? So you would take it, take the ends here, okay? You see where it kind of stop and start like in the middle right there? So you're gonna take the tip of this brush, okay? And I'm going to pretty much lightly blend inward into the eye. So just buff, just right there on that little line, okay? Very lightly, okay? And what it's going to do is actually going to blend both colors together, okay? And then that's how you do that look. If you don't want to add any more of the darker color to your eye. Now, if you wanted to add more of the darker color to your eye, this is what I would do. Still with the same brush. Same color here. Or whatever color that you've used on your outer lid. I'm gonna use very little of the color, okay? Is I'm just gonna put a little bit more of that color right there, okay? Put a little bit more of that color right there. Now just kind of press it out a little bit. And then that way you're actually bringing your color right back. And you're actually darkening up just a little bit more so you can actually see your color even more than you did the first time. Like I said, that part is totally optional, okay? All right, same way on this side. Adding the color, okay? Add a little bit more color because I really want to see this color on the end, okay? And I just blend it inward, this way, okay? Not that way, this way, okay? And I just kind of buff it right there. The more you buff, the more seamless it's going to look, those edges, okay? Okay, so now that we have both of our eyeshadows right on there on the end, okay? So I'm gonna let you see it up close. Okay, all right. So now that this is done, okay, you can leave this makeup look just like this if you like, because it is pretty, and you know, you just put your eyebrows on, mascara, lashes, eyeliner, and you good as far as the eyeshadow look. But if you really just want to up this look, like I pretty much want to do, so what you'll do, is I want to add a little bit of some glitter, okay, to really just make my eyes pop. And that's what we're gonna do. So this is the color I'm actually gonna use just to really complement and really help bring out this yellowish color here, okay? It's actually a color from MAC. This one is called 3D Brass Gold. It's really, really pretty. I absolutely love this color. It is a hologram, so it's gonna look like a disco ball on your eye, okay? So a little bit of this actually goes a long, long way, okay? It's the same thing if like you were to use loose pigment. Loose pigment is pretty much eyeshadow that's loose and is not solid. So a little bit of that always goes a long way depending on the actual color. But with glitter, especially hologram glitter, you're not gonna need much unless you are planning on packing on all of that color onto your eyelid. That's when you're gonna use a lot more of the color, but we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna use a little bit of it, okay? All right, so the next thing I'm actually gonna use just to help make the glitter stick is I'm actually going to use, this is by Too Faced glitter glue. Absolutely love this stuff. I mean, my glitter do not move. It don't move, it don't shift, it don't do nothing. She gonna stay right there on my lid and she gonna be popping all day, all night, honey, okay? I'm telling you. So a little bit of this glitter glue from Too Faced goes a long, long way, but I'm only gonna put this wherever I'm only gonna put glitter, okay? Okay. So we're going to use the same brush from Morphe that I used for my eye primer, and then also I used for the eyeshadow color that I put on my lid, okay? So I'm actually going to go in with the Too Faced glitter glue, and I'm actually just going to really press this on the eye. Okay, just very little, a very thin amount is all you need. So I'm actually just gonna go in with the glitter, same brush. And I'm just pressing it right on there. I'm not gonna actually cover my whole lid like I said. I'm only just going to do some of my lid, not too much, and I'm not gonna take it all the way up here either, okay? You can, but I'm not gonna do that. So now that I did this, I'm actually going to do this eye and make it the same, okay? All right, okay. So your glitter should actually come out like this. Now that that's done, okay, so now this is totally optional as well, but I'm actually gonna add one more color to my eyes. I know it's a lot of color, girl. It's more like a frosty type color. It's from the James Charles palette. So it's gonna be this color right here, okay? Brush. I'm just gonna actually add this to like my tear duct right here, okay? This is optional, remember. Okay, I'm just putting it on both, really. Okay. So this part is the final look when it comes to the eyeshadow placement, the cut crease, all of that great stuff, okay? So now I'm just gonna put my mascara on, and also I'm going to put on my lashes. But this is the mascara that I absolutely love right now. This one is from MAC. So this one is Extended Play Lash. Absolutely love, love, love it. It definitely helps extend your lashes, so it really gives you volume. So it really isn't clumpy whatsoever. It doesn't give too much thickness, in my opinion, but it just gives you a lot more volume to your lashes, okay? It's a thinner bristle. Let me show you. So it's a thinner bristle, as you can see, and it really just helps spread your lashes as well. If you do have shorter lashes, this will be a really great mascara for you if you were interested into this mascara, okay? If you have longer lashes, I have a little bit long lashes, not too much, you could still use it, okay? And it really helps bring out your bottom lashes too. Like, they almost look like Flossies. They're really pretty, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and put this mascara on. I'm gonna do this off camera, okay? Okay, so off camera, I went ahead and put my lashes on, and also I did my brows, and I also did my eyeliner. I used 2 liners because I like my black eyeliner beyond black. So I'm gonna show you. So this, I did my eyeliner already here, okay? And the colors that I use, they're both from MAC. This one is Boot Black, and this one is the Brush Black from MAC. Really and truly, I like to use them. Another reason why I like to use both of them is because the applicator on the Boot Black, my preference is a little too thick for me, but I like the fact that it goes on super matte. So instead of using the applicator for the Boot Black, I'm actually going to use the applicator on the Brush Black, which is more like a pen type. And that's how I pretty much get my eyeliner to be super crisp and really sharp on the end, okay? So what I do is I just kind of pretty much dip just a little bit into the Boot Black with my Brush Black, okay? And I'm gonna show you guys how to do this liner real quick. Start my guideline like that, okay? All the way over. I don't know if you can see too well with this, but, and then I just fling it outward like that, okay? I'm showing you up close how I did it. So you just take it, lay it on there, all the way over, and you wanna flick it out, okay? Flick it out straight, okay? Okay, so the key is that what I do is I just lay it right on the eye here, and I go as close to my lash line as possible. And I just bring it and flick it. And I just flick it outward. Okay, when you just flick the end, it just allows this in here to be more straighter and more pointy, okay? I know my lashes are really long, but yeah, okay? So if you wanna go pretty much from thin to thick, and I'm pretty much not doing this with this look, but if you want to, it's better to use eyeliners like this. It's gonna just make your life a whole lot easier. And then you just wanna go really thin here using the tip of it. So you just wanna go super thin right here, create a line, and then you wanna kinda go up a little bit and bring it outward, okay? Thin to thick, okay? And then that way, this part is just pretty much just going to be more pointy, and it's gonna be more precise, okay? Also, just make sure that your eyeliner, all of this is black, or whatever color you want to do as your eyeliner. You want to make sure all that fallout and all that stuff is covered, because a lot of times with eyeshadow, it kind of falls on your lashes even if you do your shadow first. Very little of it. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But if it does, you just want to make sure you cover all of that up with whatever color liner that you're doing, okay? Okay, so the last step I'm actually going to do is going to be an eyeliner. I'm going to use a brown color, like a caramel color, and it's going to be right in my waterline. I'm going to use that. But honestly, it's totally up to you. If you just wanted to just leave it blank in your waterline, only just put mascara and that's it. Of course, you would have your full face on, foundation, powder, concealer, all of that. But like I said, we're only just doing eyes today. So me personally, I don't always put actual eyeliner inside of my waterline. Sometimes I actually use lip liners, which you can. It's totally up to you. It's a color called Cork. And this one is from MAC, and this is a lip liner. So I'm actually just going to put this in my waterline real quick. It's a really light brown. Okay, so that's pretty much about it. I'm not going to put any mascara on at the bottom. I'm just going to do just eyeliner, and that's it. I just wanted to keep it like super light for you guys at the bottom, because more of the attention is actually my eyeshadows and my eyeliners up top. So I'm gonna actually let you see the final look up close. That's pretty much it, you guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much again for watching. This was a really great makeup look, eye look that I decided to do today. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful week, a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time, okay?